I paid for Cursor so that you don't have to go through trial and error when refactoring messy Angular code, and I'm going to show you how to squeeze the most out of Cursor. So let us explore the key techniques how to make Cursor write good code and perform well during refactoring. Now, when using AI for the first time or without knowing how to use it correctly, developers try to operate it like a slot machine. They pull the lever and ask it, create me a full project and make no mistakes, and this is a wrong way to do it because AI doesn't have the correct context about your project. And Cursor has special tools how to provide it documentation, how to plan the features, how to edit the plan, and then execute. And I will show you what tools you can apply to make it generate better code. So I created this little Angular project with two components that deliberately uses bad practices. And I used it for interviews to see the mind flow of the candidates when refactoring the code. And I will feed this code to Cursor and apply special techniques that I will show you to let it do the good refactoring. Now, first thing you have to do with Cursor is to create .cursor folder and provide it the best practices about Angular, about all the newest constructions of the 21st version. And you can download this in the Angular documentation. I'll provide the link in the description of this video. And they have a bunch of different IDEs that you can choose from to download the appropriate file that you can put into your project structure. After this is done, you can take a look at this component. So it uses subscribe inside of subscribe, where the output of the first call is not necessary for the second call, and it uses the constructor, which can be replaced with inject functions, and it uses any typing, which is not type safe. These are the issues that I see on the first side, and I want Cursor to analyze the files and find the issues and suggest me how to refactor it. So when we create a new agent, there are different modes that we can use, but plan and agent are the most important ones. So even plan is the most important, I would say, because first you have to create a plan and verify what Cursor suggests you, and then before you build, you edit it so that it creates 90% of the work, and then you just have to fix the 10% of the rest. So when planning, there is an auto mode which chooses the most balanced model, but I prefer to use better and more expensive models for planning because this is the most important part. And GPT 5.1 Codex Mini is very well suitable for this because it has a huge context window and it has proven to be good when generating and analyzing code. So we choose this model and ask it to create the plan. So in order to provide the context of the files, we can press the command add and tell that we want to refactor this component using Angular documentation. So Cursor has a lot of documentations for different languages and frameworks, and Angular is one of them. So you choose the documentation and best practices we've downloaded from the Angular documentation website. Now we ask it to plan the refactoring for us. So after the plan is ready, you have to read very carefully through it and fix the parts we want to look different, and it will then build the code. So it suggests to use the inject function and to signal, which is good, or effect. And I don't want to use effect, so I just delete it from the plan. And it suggests to update the template to rely on async, and we don't need any async because we will use to signal. It's okay to use the for logic. And what I have missed myself is that it doesn't use change detection strategy on push, which is a good performance practice, and we want to use it, of course. Add standalone true if not implied. We don't need standalone true because it is implied since Angular 19, I think. We just delete it from the plan. And it suggests to tighten the typing, replace any with proper interfaces or unknown. So we don't want to use unknown, and we just wanted to create a new interface. And it creates a to-dos to track the progress of the refactoring. Now we want to verify these to-dos finally. Everything looks correct, and now we can build it using any model we want, but Auto is pretty good. It will most probably use the Composer 1 model from the Cursor itself, which has proven itself pretty good for the building of the code. So we press the build. And now it starts planning the next moves and building this plan. As we can see, all to-dos are complete. It has changed some files and we want to review them just like we would review the pull request of our colleague. So it has added the change detection strategy, and what I see right away is this type assertion, which is not really safe and I want to get rid of it. And we see that it has used the toSignal, which is good, past the initial value. Mostly here everything looks good, so what I want to fix is get rid of this type assertion because it has an initial value and make each signal read-only. So I provide these corrections to it. But we have verified it manually, but there is also a mode which can find issues in the code. We let the agent review the changes of the agent. So we see here Cursor agent is reviewing your changes for issues, and it already found one issue, so we will see. So empty users array prevents child component from rendering. I don't think this is correct because empty array is not falsy, it's truthy, so we will dismiss this change. It didn't find the changes I want to fix myself, so I will tell it to first of all get rid of. And second, I want each signal to be read-only. Now we let it correct its mistakes. Okay, so we finally review the latest changes. It has even changed the typing in the different file, which I didn't provide it to, but it was necessary for these changes to work. So everything looks good so far, and we tell it to keep all the changes. But now I see that the tests are failing now. We will ask it to adapt the tests right now. But before we will adapt the test, we will test it manually to verify if the behavior has broken or the tests are wrong. And we open this in the Cursor browser and we see that it looks good actually. Most probably the tests are not correct. And by the way, very interesting, Cursor browser can now edit the layout for you, so you can just move it like you would do it in the Webflow or other website builder, and you can switch the order of elements visually and it will adapt the code for you. But we are not interested in that just yet, so we will ask it to fix the tests. And it asks us if it can run the test command. Of course we can allow it to run the tests. So it has adapted the tests right now and says that the tests are passing, they're green now. And it will run all the tests to verify, to finalize that everything works. Again, review the changes it has done, which looks good to me because it creates spies before it creates the fixture and the component. It looks okay. Reload the app, it still works like it used to. So everything looks good. So now we want to commit the changes, and it's important after we have done some refactoring, verify that it works, tests are okay, we want to commit this to save the state, to not let AI rewrite the state and get to an invalid code changes. So I don't really remember where this commit button is located, so I will just ask the agent to commit the changes. And it suggests us pretty big commit message, which really represents the changes that have been made. So we will just run it and allow the commit. It has created the commit, so we have refactored it successfully. Now I see that there are some warnings in the console, and I want to ask it to fix the warnings, because this means probably that some typing is wrong. So it compiles the project as we see with TypeScript, and after it has made changes, it want to verify that tests are still green, which is good, which is exactly the same as a developer would do. Alright, so we finally review the changes of the warnings fix. We see that there are no warnings in the console anymore, and the changes also look good. So we now just, here's the commit button, so we now just commit it to the commit button, and it generates the commit message automatically, as you can see, after you press the field. So you can commit and open the pull request even, but I prefer just to commit for now. And we commit on this branch. Now, when doing different changes, you can even provide screenshots. For example, you want to reorder the elements or change the design. You can provide it the changes. You can provide the screenshot and it will build the UI according to screenshot. You can also use the voice to dictate what changes it should do. So we have walked through the usual developer workflow of planning the refactoring, executing it, verifying and committing. And as you can see, if you provide the necessary context and use the correct tools in Cursor, it can do it pretty well. If you enjoyed this video, press the like button, subscribe to my channel, and more content on AI is coming soon.